And the winner is Arctic Monkey!
That subscriber content, eh? That subscriber content, it just won't go away.
It might hibernate from time to time and sink back into the swamp. I think the cyclical nature of the universe in which it exists demands it adheres to some of its rules.
But it's always waiting there, just around the corner, ready to make its way into your ears and smash through the gated payment system, sounding better than ever.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Benefits such as getting ad-free episodes a week early with pre- and post-show chat relating to the monkeys, last Shadow Puppets episodes, bonus podcasts, watch-alongs, plus helping us improve our sound with better equipment and services.
Yeah, this podcast seems like it's fading away sometimes, but with subscribers, it will never die. Thank you very much for listening. We do truly appreciate it. Don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah, we'll invoice you for the subscription if we need to.
We're Arctic Monkeys. This is Don't Believe the Hype.
That rock and roll, eh? Ladies! That sound means it's the end of the round. Time for the bonus question. Cheers, dude.
That man just yawned.
We're gonna call it
Don't Believe the Hype.
Hello and welcome to Series 3, Episode 4 of Don't Believe the Hype, the podcast that's taking apart the Arctic Monkeys discography, well, brick by brick, I suppose. I'm very taken aback by just how close to the end we are relatively. Like, if the band don't do an album next year, we are genuinely like, after how daunting we keep saying it is that we're close to the end, that it's going to take us years. Like, we could genuinely be finished by the end of next year, which is that's with breaks and stuff as well. It's just like,
if we that's with a month break in between each season, we'll be finished by December next year or around then, unless the band produce an album next year, which I don't think they will. I think they'll hear a Monkeys album in 2027 if they don't do a Last Shadow Puppets one. So yeah, we'd have to think, or we could do it.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, come on, bring it down.
We're here for now.
That's ages away. We're wishing our lives away. This is like 18 months away. It's ages away. Ages away.
But while you're here, check out the episode description. You can find all sorts of stuff. You can find our subscriber content with loads of additional stuff, as well as extended ad-free versions of the weekly episode and our Last Shadow Puppet series. Find all the links to our social media and all that, like, rate, review, follow, subscribe, do all that. And be sure to subscribe on your podcast player of choice. But anyway, we are here for another week talking about another track from the band's third album, Umbug. Don't need an H at the start of it. With me, Nick, and how can such a creature survive in such a habitat? Well, just regular pruning of his pubic hair and regular food and water, I think. It's Dan. Hello, Dan.
Hello. I like how for this series you've incorporated this week's song into my introduction. I've noticed that's something you've been doing every episode of the series. Yeah. You didn't used to do that. You used to just put ones out of the ether. So,
but you know why, Dan? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you for why. Because I did not have the foresight to keep a spreadsheet of the ones I'd already used. So I was really worried about recycling. I'm not Peter Kay. I don't want to go recycling everything over the years. So I thought, no, we'll keep it. Yeah. Seeing as this is the series we were building up to, this is the series we wanted to get to when we started the show. So I thought, why not?
Yeah. But yeah, tonight we're doing track 4, Secret Door, which, raps. And the band, probably why they put it at track 4, I'd imagine. Jamie went, if we put it at track 4, it'll rhyme because it's door. And they went, yes, Jamie.
yeah. Yes, Jamie, we're going to put that on the fridge.
But yeah. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, Secret Door. So I said last week that this was one that I hadn't I forget about or whatever. It's true. When it was out, I'll make it clear, when it was out, I rinsed the song. I loved it. But what I mean is it's not one that I often go back and just crack on unless I'm listening to the full album on vinyl and it comes on. I never go, I'll listen to Secret Door. But having listened to it this week, I don't know why. Because it is glorious.
Shock you, so have I.
Yeah.
I've been listening to it this week as well. Yeah. Weird, that
doesn't shock me because we're doing a podcast about it.
Both to listen to it.
Listeners are probably listening to it as well, I imagine, as much as they listen along. And yeah, I think it's really a really cool song. But shall we listen to it then?
Shall we listen to it? Yes. Full disclosure, I found a clip of this, and then while I
changed
was
the
on
clip, didn't you,
YouTube
last minute?
before getting the instrumental version, I found another clip of it that I thought we'd do instead. So we're on the Zane Lowe show from Maid of Vale on Radio Uno, Radio 1.
Radio Uno.
Let's have a listen.
Her arms were folded, most indignant, not looking like she was soon to leave. I had to squint in order to believe. And then like a bull, pushing on a bookshelf, and I'm bailing the unexpected. I who was really overlooked and was suddenly embarrassed and corrected. How could such a creature survive in such a habitat? The secret those friends behind us. She's saying nothing. She's just giggling along. Even if they were to find us, I wouldn't notice. I'm completely occupied. Cause all the fools on parade cavorts and carry on for waiting eyes. That she would rather be beside than in front of. But she's not been a kind to be hauled by the stairs. Fools on parade, frolic and full about to make a gaze. Just a scribble on a page by a picture that holds her absence. But she damned to think she cared. Fools on parade. Fools on parade. The fools on parade come to sing along.
That's lovely, isn't it? That was
Isn't it?
nice.
It's great that.
Great, yeah. Lovely bit of Helder's drumming as well for what is a low key song, and yeah, lovely. Like Jamie Cook specials, beautiful Jamie Cook specials this week, as we'll get into. I should just say before we move into the information though, that we for people we got subscribers. We've had a flurry of subscribers recently, haven't we? We're all gathered up. But if you want to become a subscriber, how would they do that, Nick?
They would go in the episode description. You can subscribe either via Patreon or through Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
But Apple Podcasts, you don't get the video versions, which some might say is better. But the price reflects that. So that's
yes,
fair,
and
isn't it?
we don't have what's it called? We don't have any subscribers on Apple. That's the one place that we don't have any. They're all via Spotify and
Don't-
Patreon. So if you want to become
Don't want any. Next.
probably because they don't get the video. And also cool that on Spotify
Yeah.
now people have noticed that it now transcribes, which is episode. I was listening to one of our episodes back and it was transcribing what we said, which was kind of cool in a way.
Is it transcribed
So now things that we
correctly?
say are in writing as well. Yeah, it was transcribed correctly for the most part, yeah. There was like the odd northern twang that might have misled it a letter or so, but very rare.
I
saw it
apologise.
transcribed very well. It was very...
I
but
can't wait
what I was
for
going
that
to
to
say
be
was
Exhibit C in the court case.
we have a new subscriber feature that we debuted tonight, which is where we are going to. So, well, firstly, we decided we were going to review the Last Dinner Party's debut album, which we both very much enjoyed, and Arctic Monkeys fans have enjoyed as well. So we did a review of that. But, you know, that was 45 minutes of content now, that review of Last Dinner Party. So if you want to hear, I mean, there was, you know, a bit of waffling in between, but, you know, still, as you come to expect from us. And then we went into what we're going to do in the post show. We have a random album generator that has every album ever made in it, and we're going to every week we're going to randomly generate an album that we might have heard before, we might not have, that we'll go away and we'll listen to all week and we'll review, and you can go away and listen to, and we'll review it. Could be good, could be bad, could be any genre, and we'll do it. We'll listen to it. And
you know what I'm going to do as well?
It's exciting stuff, isn't it? Broaden our horizons, Nick.
In the post show when we run the generator, I'm gonna have a guess at what the album will be that comes out.
If you
Just one
ever get it
week.
right, it will be amazing.
Imagine what it is worth it just for hoping that 1 week it'll be. Oh my God.
It would be incredible. Yeah, that would be insane. But yes, we're going to do that. So come join us. It's going to be cool, that, and we're going to get to listen to some new genres. We might find a genre we didn't know we liked. We're going to get to listen to some cool stuff. So
And what they can do,
and
Dan,
some terrible stuff.
well, they'll hear a trailer for it later, but they can, if they want to hear us talking about other music, maybe in a slightly whimsical fashion, there's somewhere they can go for that as well, isn't there?
There is our podcast.
You look like
lyrics.
you didn't know what I was on about for a second there.
Well, you do the links and stuff. It's not my the the links. I don't know them. I had to get them all up for Justin's podcast so I could pump stuff. I was like, shit, what are they all? I make the videos and stuff. You do that.
You got the important stuff.
You do the admin. You're like my assistant, basically, is what you. I think James Ford bothers himself with doing the admin for the albums.
Yeah.
Then he gets
He
an
does his own
assistant.
taxes.
We go to Linktree/Liquor and Lyrics, and then you can listen to that on Spotify, or just search Liquor and Lyrics on Spotify or Apple, and we're in there. And there's going to be a YouTube channel, which I don't know the name yet because I haven't set it up. It's in advance, but it'll be on Linktree as well. We're now starting. If you don't want to listen to like 40 minutes to an hour of us talking in a comical way about song lyrics that aren't necessarily always bad, then you. But if you go, that's too long, or I don't like that, I prefer a visual medium, we're now doing little, like, between 10 to 20 minute comical video versions of the episodes,
Very
full
well put
with
together,
visual
if I may
gags.
say so.
Thank you.
I've
Thank you.
only
had
watched it
rave
6
feedback
times
from
in the last 2 days.
very
I have no notes.
raving feedback from people. People who normally judge me quite harshly as well. So as I asked them to. So yeah, good stuff. But yeah, do you want some information on this song? That's Liquor and Lyrics. Go listen to it. Let's do the information on Secret Door.
The information action ratio, ain't that the place to go?
Secret Door is 3 minutes and 43 seconds long, and it has 68.3 million streams on Spotify. So more than Dangerous Animals did by quite a bit. It is 124 beats per minute and is in the key of G minor. So we're back in the minors, son. Way! Like a 1970s strike. We're back in the minors.
There was two avenues we could go down there with back in the minors.
You went paedophile. I went.
Right.
Yeah, I went for 80s Billy Elliot. You went for 80s Billy
Billy
the Kid.
Joel. Libelous.
The song has been played live 87 times by the band. Firstly, on July 2nd, 2009, at the Heineken Opener Festival in Poland. And lastly, on April 6, 2010, at the Disco Rodeo in North Carolina. So another song that never made it out of the Humbug tour. Again, more's the pity. More's the pity. Bonus round, Nick.
Oh, hello. Let's get that on the go, shall we?
That sound means it's the end of the round. Time for the bonus question.
Go on for you. This gig at Disco Rodeo in North Carolina, what song do you think they ended the pre-encore set with? So, end it, go off stage, come back on for the encore. The last song before they went off for the encore. What do you think they ended it with? I'll give you a clue. It's not an album track. This is why I picked it. It's an interesting choice to end the live set with and go off, and then they came back on and did 505 and whatever. Usual fare.
Is it? Oh, I'm gonna go for Sketchhead. Let's go mental.
Close, I'd say, in a way. Nettles is what they ended the set with.
That is very close, actually. Yeah.
Same world. Yeah, same world. Lives in the same world. Different albums, lives in the same world, though. So there you go. They ended it with Nettles and came back on and did Summer and 505. So interesting, I thought. Interesting choice.
That's cool.
So, Nick, this week it's time for Homoford. Homoford. Easy one this week, Nick. Who do you think produced this track? Homoford.
I am going to go Ford.
You're going to go for Ford. It
I'm gonna go
was
for Ford. Final
Ford.
answer.
It was James Ford. It's got James
I'm
Ford
still
written all over it.
100%.
Yes. I mean, it's not hard, is it? He only produced a few. And you knew this one. You knew this. This is a James Ford song all over.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, yeah. Within like 5
but I'll give it
seconds
you.
of
I'll give it
listening,
you.
you're like, yeah, it's James
I don't
Ford.
think the first week you were 100% because you didn't know that My Propeller was produced by James Ford, did you? Oh, no, you knew it because the sheer fact that I asked gave you a clue that there was obviously a reason I asked it, wasn't there?
I think so. I
You
think
thought,
that was
why is he
right. I'll have to
asking
go back and
this?
listen, yeah.
Because otherwise
Yeah.
you would think that My Propeller is produced by. I was shocked, but not appalled that it was produced by Josh Homme. It wasn't produced by Josh Homme, it was produced by James Ford. So he's produced at the Mission Sound Brooklyn is where Fordy did this one. Should we chat about some gear?
Let's do it. Let's get on the gear, shall we? On a
Yes.
Of a
Like
Sunday
a Saturday
evening.
night in Manchester. Let's chat about the gear.
yeah. Except it's Sunday night in our own houses.
Technological advances really blooming get me in the mood.
Super Bowl Sunday would be a good night for the gear as well, I would imagine. There's going to be a lot of gear in America tonight.
You need something to keep you up, wouldn't you? Through that.
Well, we would, but it's normal time for them, isn't
Love
it?
it, don't
It's
they?
an all day affair, daytime affair, isn't it? And even not a lot on this one. For the guitar, put a bit high rate modulation going on this one. They said probably using MXR Univibe is what the band were probably using to create the sound of the guitar on this one. What Univibe?
Yeah.
I know every week these pedals are. I've never really thought about the band creating pedal names for songs before, but this is why they must have been giggling about stuff. For the lead tone, for that lovely clean sound that Jamie Cook has on his guitar in this song, and people say it's actually just really clean. It's just a bit of reverb and chorus on it, and a little bit of delay. You'll get that crisp but warm tone that Jamie Cook's guitar has in this one. And Alex and Jamie, Alex was using Jamie, not the acoustic, obviously. Obviously, the acoustic's the acoustic. You don't need any information for that, but they were using a Vox AC15C1 custom guitar valve amp. Yes, and I had a Vox AC30, which was a lovely amp. But yeah, there you go. That's the gear. Not a lot this week, but the most was crying lightning. That makes sense, doesn't it? So far, that
We can only work with what we're given,
was it?
can't we?
Only work with what we got. Scour the internet and some of for stuff.
Don't blame us.
No. Got some reviews. Fair Magazine did a list of the top 10 underrated Monkey songs, putting Secret Door at number 6 on the list. They said, within Humbug, Secret Door signifies a poignant embodiment of this evolution. The track discards the kitchen sink aesthetics of their earlier work and introduces a newfound maturity. The lyrics reach new depths of introspection, with Turner delivering some of his most profound lines to date. Secret Door serves as a testament to Arctic Monkey's willingness to explore new sonic territories. It captures a band stepping. That's funny because the AI generator always pulls up the word sonic for some reason about Arctic Monkeys. I wonder if it's just because it scours reviews from Far Out Magazine. It captures a band stepping outside their comfort zone and embracing a musical landscape that is both haunting and mesmerising. It'd be interesting one week if I was to. Would this be fun in the reviews? I have the AI review an album and I read some real ones and see if you can spot what the AI review of the album was and what the real review of the album was. Would that be fun for you, Nick?
I think I could.
Do you think you could?
Yeah.
Next week we'll do that.
Well,
I got a shot for you.
come up with
That
a
one
jingle.
wasn't from Far Out Magazine. No, it wasn't that. But next week come up with see if you can come up with a thing for that. Another new feature, buddy. We got features coming out of our arse this year, haven't we?
Yeah.
Much like the
That's why
band's
we've had to
pedal
drop some.
boards, we've expanded.
Yeah.
Our
We've had a very busy transfer window, and we've had to discard some of the dead wood from the squad.
yes,
Looking at you, Ronky.
yeah. Plus, that was just becoming tenuous and difficult. The Independent, much like some of the players that you might do, the Independent did the same list. So for some reason, Independent also did an article called "The Top 10 Most Underrated Arctic Monkey Songs." 5 they did top 5. They put this at number 4, saying this track from 2009's Humbug has a distinctly nostalgic feel to it, thanks in part to its opening melody. Agree. Helder's distinctive percussion picks up the pace before the song eventually descends back into a cozy, rocking lullaby ending. It oozes ironic calm, providing the perfect antidote to the industrial twanging guitars that follow in Potion Approaching. See that next week. I have to give credit to the journalist of this, to the journalist at the Independent, Megan Gray, because she had Despair in the Departure Lounge there. Good knowledge. Secret Door. She had Riot Van in there. So that's it live. But the reason why I'm giving her full credit is because she wrote this as number one. Anything from Suck It and See. Basically, anything from Suck It and See was perhaps the most overwhelming response when I was asked. No, sorry, just anything from Suck It and See. Is what she said. It's a timeless classic of an album. So I fell in love with her when she said that.
Any more?
I agree.
Is it Grey Grey or Gray?
I'm not telling you so that you can look her up on Instagram, you creep. Can't fall in love with every woman.
No,
It's Grey with an E on the end
Google.
and an A in the middle.
Sorry, what?
Graye.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't just go
Megan-
making names up. That's mental.
Historically, that's how names have been created.
Oh, she seems nice. Yeah, come back to that later. Go on, carry on.
Ooh, I can feel the Kleenex being removed from the box as we speak.
Brand names.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that people don't want to hear about in that conversation. The brand name.
God, I need to have a LinkedIn account. Oh,
And I have one, so
I
I'll
do
screenshot them
now. I
for
do
you.
now.
That's the kind of friend I
Sorted.
am. Right, 1 minute 10 to edit this bit. Right, independent. Right, hang on. Okay. Rolling Stone did an article called "The Best 30 Arctic Monkeys Songs," and they put Secret Door at number 28 on that list. Bonus round me again, Nick. Bonus round me again.
Again? 2 bonus rounds? That's insane.
That sound means it's the end of the round. Time for the bonus question.
Do you want to tell me what number one is on that list? I'll give you a clue. It's on AM.
Okay, what's the exact title of the article?
The best 30 Arctic Monkey songs.
The best 30. And it's on. Is it Are You Mine?
By Rolling Stone. It's not Are You Mine. I'll give you 3 guesses. It's not Are You Mine. There's one guess.
All right, well, seeing as it's on AM.
Hey, I'll give you
might
this.
as well.
I'll give them this. I wasn't annoyed by the answer.
I mean, seeing as it's on AM, I better say, do I want to know? Just get that out of the way.
No,
just
I would have
in
been
case.
annoyed by that being number one. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
tried to
same,
help you there,
same.
but you still went with it anyway.
That's why I thought I'd go for it.
I gave you a clue that
Um,
wasn't the case, but you went for it anyway. So one guess
Oh
left.
yeah, you did actually. Yeah, I was already committed. Oh, in that case, maybe number 1 party anthem.
Correct. It was number 1 party anthem that they had as a number 1 Arctic Monkey song of all time. Good answer. I don't agree, but good answer. I like that. Other songs featured on this is
Little
number
bit
2 was
different, isn't it?
Cornerstone. 2 was Cornerstone.
I'm in.
3 A Certain Romance. 4 Do I Want to Know? 4's a bit high. 505 at 5. Star Treatment at 6. That's a good one in there.
Do you have
Richard
a
the Rubble at
name and a
7.
LinkedIn for this writer as well, please?
It's a man. It's a man, Nick. Although actually, at this
Fine, mate.
point, I don't know if it matters. That's
Off-
where you were
off it
wrong.
is.
I bet you looked on the dance floor. Arabella. There you go. And what was it? 30. 30 was. This was at 28. 29 was Red Light Indicates Does Are Secured. And number 30 was Teddy Picker. So there you go. Good list. It just says by Rolling Stone. So to stop pervs like you, they obviously decided to not put it in there. But Enemy put Secret Door at number 12 on the greatest list. High that. Too high, in my opinion. That I like the song, but 12 in the greatest.
I like it.
That's
but
a bit very high. Yeah. They said Alex Turner has never written a straightforward love song. The fact that Secret Door builds upon a glorious, ethereal incantation steeped in a romance so pure and luminous that it drifts along as if by magic. Sharp musicianship heightens emotion with each perfectly timed crescendo while he sings on the poetic refrain as if he's under a spell. So there you go. So, Nick, what do you think of this song musically? Then we're on the music bit.
It's very much got that thing, that ingredient that I've spoke about this loads, but I'm really into songs that are basically 2 or 3 songs in one, which is why Body Paint ranks so high for me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very much
yeah.
an early incarnation of them doing this.
Something we talked about in the film we covered, The Last Dinner Party, in the pre-show chat, their album.
Yes.
Wasn't it? That change up,
Yes.
yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do agree. The change up in this is great. Shouldn't work, but it very much works. And I do love the intro on this as well. Nice little acoustic sound along with the clean, that isn't it? Beautiful little start to a song.
I mean, when I first heard this song, because I was still very much used to what we'd got from the first 2 albums, and also in the 3 songs before it on the album, and opening 20 seconds or so, you could be forgiven for thinking, it's not really for me, and then wow, what a change up! What a change up!
I mean, it's so good that it makes me question why it is that Cornerstone is the melodic song that is the one that gets picked on this album. Because this song is no slouch in that department, is it? So it's odd. You could even argue that the end is bigger and better than Cornerstone in a way. But maybe there's something dazzling about Cornerstone that you can't
single as well.
You don't know why it's lightning in a bottle. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's true. But even for me that knows them all, I would always listen to Cornerstone over Secret Door. But why that is, I don't know. But yeah, maybe so. But very romantic, and it is a nice change of pace after the first 3. This one, because we've had very grimy, Josh Homme desert, haven't we? At this point,
in terms of the sound, or I might say sonically, seeing as sonically is the word.
I have replaced Nick. Actually, never made it back from the break, and I've replaced him with an AI recreation of it.
Sonic Cats.
Several of his exes have asked to borrow it. Perfect version, the perfected version.
They definitely wouldn't want it. I think they've been scarred enough by the imperfect version that even a perfect version would not eradicate those memories by now. This could very much fit in the new era of Arctic Monkeys. This song. This is one that I wouldn't say I was surprised that it didn't come back, but it's one that I held out hope for when I saw they were bringing songs back from previous eras. This is one that I thought would have fit. I can see why they didn't, but
because they do bring some random ones back, especially when they do like tours in Europe and America where they get more latitude to do so because they're not going to get a load of whingers. Yeah. But so you would think you would have had it pop up, but it hasn't popped up in any tour since Humbug is. I was surprised by that. I'd never really thought about that until I read it, that it only was in the Humbug tour. I was like, oh God, yeah. So yeah, it is a shame. I think you're right. It would fit very much so. I think it would have fit on any of the tours since then. Maybe not AM.
Yes.
Because they have a lot to get in AM because we're playing a lot of songs. They're playing more album tracks than usual on AM probably just because it was so big.
Still fucking hours, well.
But it would have fit after number one party anthem or something. But I would. They could go on Tranquility very easy. This song on the tour, and it could have gone on the car.
Especially
almost,
in terms
certainly,
of
right.
The almost orchestral sounds at the start as well would fit right in with what's going on.
It's orchestral,
these
isn't
days.
it? Yeah, it is strange that maybe there's a lyrical reason that we'll get into why they don't play it, perhaps.
Quite possibly.
I do love the lead, and is it keyboard to her? There's a keyboard in there as well. There isn't there, like in the. It's Alex though, because John Ashton ain't credited for this song, so it's definitely Alex.
He's not. This is, as we discussed last week. This is another one where Alex is on the keys.
Yes, he is.
Although on the live version, obviously John Ashton was the touring member at this point, so. In the live version, it's John Ashton.
In the live version, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey Dan, do you like listening to popular songs with questionable lyrics?
You know I bloody do. And Nick, do you like drinking copious amounts of alcohol?
Nah, do I ever? Actually a worry.
Well, if you're the same as us, then come listen to a weekly podcast, Liquor and Lyrics, where we take apart popular music's worst songwriting whilst drinking our favourite drinks, which kind of stay in theme with the song.
From Gin and Tonic to Grease Lightning,
Cosmopolitans with Chaz and Dave,
Blue Lagoons with Busted,
Sex on the Beach with Sex on Fire,
Shirley Temples with Shaggy.
and even a Shandy with Sharon.
Dropping on Tuesday the 19th of September and every Tuesday after on your favourite podcast platform.
But yeah, it's so interesting. But yeah, even though it's sweet and romantic, that guitars and keys are still a bit haunting, I think.
Yeah.
Very haunting
sinister.
sound to them. Don't know why I bought this song. It's got a very haunting element to it. It's like melancholic or bittersweet, actually. Is what I would say that's in this one. Reminds me of Only Ones Who Know a bit. I think if I was to pick one from the past that it resembles, Only Ones Who Know is quite similar with its, particularly with its guitar work. Although Only Ones Who Know it wasn't. Was it that, or did we not? It wasn't. We thought it was that thing. What's that thing called? Where you know the flat guitar with the where you play like a
The lap steel.
lap steel. Yeah. It's almost like the guitar on this is lap steel-esque with the way it plays. Does feel like a hark back to the last album. This, I thought.
I think so. Yes, it does. Yeah.
But-
I think this could have fit on Favourite Worst Nightmare. Yeah.
Well, stay tuned because when we listen to John Kennedy, you'll find out why it reminds you of the last album. Why it would fit on there. So there you
teaser.
go. Stay tuned. Teaser. Stay
That
tuned.
feature's paid for itself, hasn't it?
Stay tuned. Yeah, we'll make it subscriber only soon. Or you can just go and listen to the John Kennedy. I'm waiting for
this is
Spotify
out
to take
there.
us all our episodes off because we copyrighted John Kennedy.
Imagine that. What we did. Have to bring back another feature.
It took them a year to do. They took the Helders episode off because I put so many different songs in it that Helders has been involved with. But you know, whatever. It's subscriber only, so I didn't think you could copyright on subscriber only stuff. But there you go.
I think if it's just
People
on
have to pay for it
Patreon,
anyway.
it'd be fine.
Oh, actually, it's worse because we're making money off it. Aren't we? Yeah, it was Spotify. But it was, Patreon are fine. Patreon are cool guys,
cool kids. Patreon.
cool kids, cool cats. Cats. Will cats come up later in the AI generated referral of the next track? Stay tuned
I
for
would
that. as
say
well.
yes.
I don't know. The chord structure and sound in this one is a lovely melody, though, isn't it? As well, I think it's just absolutely gorgeous, very submarine, as well, which obviously hasn't happened
Very
yet
submarine.
in this universe. Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
has it,
this
Submarine?
must have
Coming.
informed his writing for Submarine. Must have.
Yeah.
Done. Right.
And then we get a nice little pause and a complete change up, as we've already said. Absolute complete change up.
With some
You know what, as I
fantastic drums that I
Oh,
did
yeah.
not appreciate.
As I said on the line, you didn't appreciate.
Not properly until watching the live
Oh, there's an
video
until.
this week.
Okay. I thought that was.
Yeah,
I thought you were just saying I don't appreciate. I thought you were saying I don't appreciate the drums in this one. I don't really like them. Is what I thought you were saying.
I would.
I was about to reach
don't
through
think
the
that's
computer
ever
screen
gonna
and
get
kill
said.
you.
That's never going to get said on any songs.
I don't think it will ever get said. No. I mean, he didn't do any drums on the next two albums, did he? He wasn't allowed, so we don't have to worry about it then, do we? Apparently, people would have you believe. Although I'd argue there's a lot of drums on Tranquility. Alex locked him in a fucking room apparently and told him he wasn't allowed to drum on the last two, according to some fans. You know what? For a subdued song, like I said in live one, the drummings are very, very good, and it's like a full sound, full like not aggressive drumming, but the drums like deep and cutting, meaty, rhythmic. It's just like this. Yeah, it is a really cool.
Any more adjectives?
Even on a song like this, nope, I'm done. Even a song like this,
I'd say it quite percussive.
percussive. You've been very percussive this evening, Mr. Alders. I don't even know what he's doing here on the drums. To be honest, he's absolutely. It's just like a when you. He's just like a. It's one of his inventive beats that only he does. That when he says he tries to do things a bit different, like you wouldn't normally
It's like where he's
hear
playing a
this
riff
kind of
again,
drums on
isn't
it. Yeah, and it's so cool to do that to a song like this to kind of make it faster on there as well with the acoustic as well. But yeah, some more lovely Jamie Cook specials in this verse as well. What would Jamie Cook do is my new slogan in life. I think we should start selling merch that says WWJC on it. What would Jamie Cook do?
Well, I know a way we can do that. I know a way we can do that at no cost to us. So just saying.
Stay tuned then. Wait for the future, I guess.
Yeah. Just one of the little ideas I'll be taking away from my other podcast as I exit through the door. So.
It's awkward, everyone. It's gone awkward.
Imagine he picks this week to finally listen to this.
Just to see what you're up to.
He doesn't even know I'm leaving yet.
And then we dropped a bass and drums for the verse there. The drums again, perfection, and a proper, proper, depth to the song, and like the bass accompanying it though. Mr. O'Malley strikes again, absolutely perfect in these verses.
He's settled in so
What a
quickly
partnership.
anyway, but he's fully under the table, feet under the table now, fully.
What a partnership. It's like when a football team attacking force with a creative midfielder passing through to a striker held as an O'Malley, isn't it? It's always the perfect pass back of the net, isn't it?
That's the nicest thing you've ever said.
That was my audition for the football podcast that
You've got personality, so you're in.
Ooh, catty, much like the AI later, perhaps. Stay tuned.
Been a very angry week.
A lot of Jamie Cook specials there. He's dropped to just the specials at this point of the song in the verses, hasn't he? Just as he's little like diddle-oon, diddle-oon, like comes in like a race car as it goes around a track at the F1. He's just doing that kind of I love the I love how his JC specials match the rhythm of Alex's singing as well. It's just got that set. I love that anyway. But when Jamie Cook does it in a Jamie Cook special, it's even better.
Yes.
Keys again. Keys
Elevated.
in this bit again. Alex Keys, obviously Alex on the keys. Very carnival-esque again.
Again.
Again. Yeah, it reminds me of a parade, which the lyrics obviously directly reference. So yeah, there you go. I was thinking this is very much like, but it's different to their usual carnival sound, like with the JC specials. Like they are that sound, but I don't know, they're just a little bit more maybe haunting or something. I don't know. There's something a little bit different to the Carnival sound. Carnival? I went all Brazilian then.
Carnival.
The Carnival. I'm gonna throw off my hat and parade around. I've actually got no pants on. He leads us into the chorus here. It comes in again with a sweet melody, because you got change and then you got change back into this one. It also sounds like the way the music changes up into this bit, it feels like, I know the word cynical isn't the right word, but like bittersweet, slightly haunting the guitar when it changes up. Like there's happiness in it, but also like cynicism and worry and doubt.
Maudlin.
Yeah. It's like, and the lyrics kind of reflect that as well as we go through them. I guess that this song lyrically is sweet in places, but also questioning things and stuff like that. So it makes sense that the music is a little bit bittersweet and a little bit haunting, I think, as well. And perhaps we'll be dissecting soon.
We will.
Only ones who know. Again, I felt on this pause. There's a pause between the chorus before the second verse and the guitar. The way it hangs over the music reminds me of Only Ones Who Know.
Echoey quality, yeah.
Perhaps maybe it was it would be credited, I think, but maybe it was old Fordy on the keys for this one, because didn't he he did something on? It was just him and Alex, the only ones who know on it. Apart from like, do you remember when we covered it? I think it was, wasn't it? So maybe Fordy was doing some keys. Maybe. Man of many talents. I don't know I think he'd be credited though if he did, wouldn't he?
You'd hope
Usually.
So. Yeah, because he's
would
not.
hope so, yeah. He's not credited musically on any of this. But then if I was you wouldn't really, would you? You wouldn't need your name on it because your name's already on the production. So it's assumed that you'll be involved in some of the music, isn't it? But I don't know. Like with Shadow Puppets, he's credited with the music because he's also part of the actual band. So
he's part of the band.
So maybe you wouldn't be referenced. But he was referenced for the ones who know. So there you go. But no, nothing there about. But Alex isn't credited for the keys, really. It's just music by Arctic Monkeys, isn't it? So. Could have been anyone on the
Wikipedia
on the band.
I've had to go to Wikipedia for the personnel list to find out who plays keys on.
Is it Alex for keys?
It is Alex. Keyboards, tracks 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10.
Lovely. And then second verse after the pause, bass, drums, and synths, and the addition of a tambourine to go with the drums on this one. Again. More on that tambourine later. Stay tuned. More on that tambourine later. But big news on the old tambo. But I like the on the big tambo news. It's not a regular feature we're going to have, but it's one first week. I do like the second verse on this more than the first verse. The drums go a little bit crazier. He adds some flourishes. Jamie does his little tiny bits to go with it. It's a bit funkier. Yeah. I love the second verse in this. This is where the song really goes into it. And lyrically, as we'll get into, the second verse is epic as well. So second verse is my favorite verse of the verses, which I don't normally have, but there we go. Second verse is favorite, but second chorus for me, I do feel the second chorus loses a bit of that bittersweetness and just goes full on romantic melody at that point as it builds. Like it just kind of builds into this, the bit it builds into is, instrumentally, it's near perfection. Not perfection.
Sublime, isn't it? Yeah.
When it changes, though, again, so lovely, beautiful, like a proper, what it reminds me of when it comes in with when it builds and then it comes in with the big sound for the kind of, I guess, outro is what you would say in a way, but a long one. It's like in a film when the couple finally kiss or something, especially when you're listening to it instrumentally, as we are now. It'll be, you can hear that kind of, it's just like this big romantic moment. Probably one of the most conventionally romantic sounds they've ever done. When you think of because they do their own kind of melodic Pixies style stuff for Suck It and See, don't they? It's this kind of different melodic sound with the bass and everything like that.
Back to Riot Van as well, that we decided was very romantic sounding.
Yes, I did, yeah. Right, when we're covering Riot Van.
Great time that one. Great album to have a bath to.
Still one of my favorite episodes we did. I'm talking about it. Isaac, we're looking at you if you're still listening. And it's just when you listen to it instrumentally, it just feels like a score of a film and a big romantic moment, but in a sort of conventional way, like in a conventional rom-com or something. It just has that vibe to it. But it is sublime peak Melodic Monkeys. This, not the best peak. Oh no, that's coming in season 4. My friend, obviously.
Oh, yes.
But peak them. Oh, would you say up until this point, future episodes that are imminently coming, not part of this, like up to now, 4th track on the 3rd album, would you say this is their peak melodic, best melodic moment?
would
Better
say
than Only
so.
Ones Who Know?
I would say that, and we'll let them have that title for a few weeks.
Yes,
We'll-
they can
we'll
have
let
that
them
for
hold on to
4
that.
Who knows? On the episode, I might go, you know what? I've changed my mind. Secret Door's better. Who knows what could happen? Who knows? But yeah, I thought I could hear elements of plus Adolescent in this bit as well. I just thought I could hear a little bit of that Flat Adolescent organy vibe, like that sound.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah. I'd never really spotted that, but absolutely.
When Jamie's solo comes in though, that is an absolutely stunning solo.
That's his moment. Possibly one of his greatest solos.
Do 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 do. Just arms in the air, in it. It's just like perfect. And again, when you listen to it instrumentally, you notice more how perfect it all is. This bit, like, yeah, perfect. Up there with one of the best melodic solos they've done, actually. I reckon. Even now, even to date, I'm saying it to date, not just. It's definitely the best melodic solo they've done since then. It's better than
To this
Mardy Bum. It's
point.
better than Only Ones Who Know. It's better than any of the B-sides, and it's better, yeah, up to this point, yeah. I actually think up to this point, like now, as we sit here in 2024, I think this is one of the
Do you
best
think so?
melodic solos they've ever done. Yeah. Because I would say melodic,
Okay, well, we'll
as
see
much as
how
I
that
love
opinion
Socket,
progresses.
well, as much as I love Suck It and See, I wouldn't say there's too many melodic solos per se that I would say are incredible. And you maybe just number one party anthem. It's not really a solo, is it? That bit. It's, I guess you, but yeah, Cornerstone has a solo, obviously.
Ultra
sorts.
Cheese.
The Ultra Cheese solo is good. But this is up there. This is up there as one of the, and it's forgotten as well. This song doesn't get the respect it deserves, even by me. I'll admit, even by me, it didn't get the respect it deserved until this.
Are we
Even
not
by the
getting-
band.
Talking of respect it deserves. What about the She Looks Like Fun solo? The little
Are you counting that as
solo,
melodic?
like that. I'd say it's very melodic. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think
is
it's
melodic,
straight
yeah,
from
but
Abbey
in a-
Road,
but
the
not-
most melodic album ever.
Suck It and See is the most melodic album ever, mate, but fine. I would battle that
Second
out,
most
shall we?
melodic album ever then.
I had no, but I had yeah. I mean, it's because the melodic solo has to be in a melodic song, whereas She Looks Like Fun
Yeah, I'd say so,
has rock elements in it.
Yeah.
And you could argue this one has a change up, but I would still say the verses are still in the world of melodic, just with a slightly more upbeat. It's like if the verses for this had the grimy humbug guitar in it, then that would take it away from being a melodic song. But it just slightly picks up the pace, doesn't it? But yeah, I don't think this song gets the respect it deserves even by the band.
No,
I
well,
don't think
clearly
most of
not,
this
'cause
album
it's
gets the
disappeared.
respect it deserves by the fans of the band. And actually, to be quite honest with you, like this
No.
album does no get the respect it deserves. But and it should be more songs from this should be in the live set. But when they go back and listen, I'm really surprised that it isn't. But nice little fade out to the instruments ending at this one, as we said, when the instruments in the studio just kind of, beautiful little sound
Just
there.
let it ring out. I love it.
Yeah, great tune. Really well put together, this one. A Ford masterclass again. A Ford and Turner
Well done.
masterclass
well done,
again.
James.
And a Ford, Cook, Turner, Helders, O'Malley masterclass again.
All of them. The gang.
All of them.
The crew.
All of them.
The squad.
Yeah. The squad. But yeah, nice. Yeah. Well, this takes me, before we do the lyrics, this takes me up to the feature of the show, which I can't remember. It does have a jingle, doesn't it? Where we talk about which artist, band, or living or dead, band or solo, we would want to cover this song, perhaps.
I'm gonna form a covers band and all.
Oh, it's like he just writes jingle titles for it, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like he just writes,
yeah.
especially on Tranquility. Like he
That's what
made
it's all
that
building
album
up
for us
to.
to create segments out of. I'm gonna let you, because you text me saying that you were very excited about one that you had here, so I'll let you go.
Okay, so a band we discussed in the pre-show chat actually, and who've we did, we chatted about the pre-show. So a band whose first album is very much influenced by this. In fact, I think they've all talked in interviews about growing up listening to this album and it being like an important album for them. Blossoms. I think of all the songs on the, I've been wanting to pick Blossoms for this feature on this album somewhere because it is such an important album to them. And even with their look, they're very well, particularly the singer Tom. He's very much influenced by Alex's look.
Alex
on this
Bossock's
album.
humbug look, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, I think this would be the one that Blossom should cover off this album. I think
Yes,
suit them down to the ground.
I agree, because the first album was, for a start, the album that I think was their peak, unfortunately. And
It had a lot of shades. It had a lot of shades of humbug in that album as well.
Yeah, I always felt that "Cut Me and I'll Bleed," the keyboard sound was very much humbug-esque.
That could have easily been on this album.
Yeah. I think there was another one on that album as well that was really good. That reminded me of humbug. But yeah, that humbug is all over Blossom's first album. So yeah, good choice. Probably is the one that I would imagine them doing if they were going to do one off this album, I guess.
I even think it'd suit his voice as well. Like, vocally, I think it'd suit it down to the ground.
Yeah, like my favorite room-esque, perhaps. Yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna go for David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust era. Imagine him going. Fools on parade, cavort and carry on for waiting eyes. The ones you'd rather be beside than in front of, Ziggy. Like, yeah, I could really. I'll by the stairs. I can imagine him doing it, couldn't you? You can imagine him doing this easily. And that may be because Alex was influenced by Ziggy's era Bowie at this time, because he'd just come off Flash Shadow Puppets. So there is a bit of a. And he obviously covered Bowie in that, and Bowie's all over the first Flash Shadow Puppets album. So, yeah. So I would love to hear him do this in his very specific Ziggy era voice.
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah,
very good.
Specifically would be great. Yeah, I'd love to actually support this. I don't really know how you do the AI stuff where you create songs and stuff. I assume you have to have some like that you pay for to do that or something. But putting in David Bowie covering this into that could be a good shout. If I did figure out, if anyone knows how to do that, it would be really cool to do that as part of this feature, is to actually play the clip. Maybe I'll try and find out. In fact, I've got a boss who's very much into his listen to this nerdy AI stuff, and I might ask him, because he'll probably know. Stay tuned for that as well. We'll get on that. And then in the wrap up, and in a wrap up episode, maybe we could go back to the others from the past or something like that at the end of the series or something. So stay on that. I'll get on that. I'll get on how that works. Or better, me and you just do a cover of it every week. No, we'll do the AI.
I was hoping this is what it'd come down to.
We can't get the AI to do it, so I'll just do it.
Me in the studio. You're homeschooling. We've got a job for you.
It's a studio in Stockport. I'm just like, Falls on Parade. What's this for, lads?
And we should film it as well, like the Band-Aid video. Us arriving at the studio.
But yeah, let's get into the lyrics. Oh, before the lyrics, actually, his singing in this is interesting because it goes crooner and rap, doesn't it? He's got his old rapping for the verses, but croonery for the chorus. It's like it's part of Alex.
The middle point of Alex.
It's
getting into the progression.
Middle point, but the past and the future like colliding into that, isn't it? It's very much lovely BVs in this as well. Lovely bit of BVs from the guys. Do we have I don't think Josh Homme won't be doing the BVs for this, will he?
No,
Because I know
he's not.
he's not additional
It is
vocals. No.
Nick
In
O'Malley
fact,
and
he's not.
Matthew
You know what?
Holders on backing vocals.
Josh Homme on the actual album thing doesn't have the BVs credited either. To be honest, so maybe it was just a space thing.
Well, hang on. I don't think he does have any backing vocals on this album.
He definitely does have the backing vocals on the album. He had backing vocals on. I think it was last week, wasn't it, that I talked about him doing the BVs for Dangerous Animals.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
One of them.
it's weird. That's
Yeah,
not credited anywhere.
Yeah, maybe just like whatever. But maybe it's to keep the mystique. Because is he credited for knee socks? What's the question?
I will find out.
I don't know. When you just go in and do BVs on an album, do you think you waive your rights to any financial remuneration?
Because
Got popped in some bit, listened to the album with him, didn't he?
We've got someone who's credited in a track in a few weeks' time who's actually credited on here.
Yes.
So on AM,
yes, she is. She's the only person credited for BVs.
She is. Josh Homme is credited for backing vocals on tracks 3 and 11 on AM.
Oh yes, of course, yeah. One for the road. Yes.
Yeah, one for the road and knee socks, obviously.
So Nate, what do you think this one's all about then?
Once again, it's a song written about a female character that's very much my type. Once again,
do you think there was the chicken and the egg there, though? You think that was always your type, or do you think listening to Alex in your youth has led you to start being your type?
No, it was my type. It was my type.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's handy.
It was always my type, and then the music just helped, reinforce it. But I don't see it as him singing about that character in a similar way that he has before. He's more romanticizing her as sort of a non-conformist. So when he sings about the fools on parade, I see that as people just, on the conveyor belt and sort of going about their daily life. And she's different. She's never been the kind to be hollowed by the stairs.
We have very different interpretations of this song, so this is going to be an interesting part. Very much for some of it. So I always thought that this song was about being in a relationship and being famous in the public eye and wanting to escape that, which logically leads you to Alexa and Alex because the timing fits perfectly, and they were like an it couple for a bit. Like I remember when my mum was watching Loose Women one day and they had a story on there about Alex and Alexa, and I was like, bloody hell, they've gone tabloid. And I know we don't like to get into the personal stuff, so we won't do too, but I think this song directly references their relationship and Alexa, and I'll explain why as we go, that I think it's actually quite personal, which could be why it doesn't get performed live. I don't know, but which could be is a theory. But I think this directly references her very specifically in a good light and a bad light. So as we go through that, we shall see. But so the first sort of chunk, fools on parade, cavort and carry on for waiting eyes. Ones you would rather be beside than in front of. She's never been the kind to be hollowed by the stairs. So you said you felt it was about that kind of going on your day-to-day life. That's your fools on parade. This conveyor belt just going through your life, normal. But she's a bit different or something. Is that what you mean? What you said?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. She's going via. She as Mama Cass sang. She makes her own kind of music.
Yeah,
that's a great song.
Love that song.
Isn't it?
Used excellently in the opening of series 2 of Lost when they're trying to when they have a reveal who's in the hatch. Yeah, very good. I always remember that. So for Desmond. So for me, the fools. Sorry. So yeah, for me, the fools on parade and them as a celebrity couple. So they're fools on parade. They're famous. They're on show. They're cavorting around, being famous. The waiting eyes watching are the journalists and the general public. All of the above. And you'd rather be alongside them than be the person being watched. But the girl, and we won't say Alexa, but I think it is. But the girl because we don't know. But the girl isn't the type to let herself be affected by that kind of attention. Hence why she won't be hollowed by the stairs.
Can I just stop you there? I am fully on board, despite what I said
Well,
earlier.
Well,
It's-
we'll see. We'll see. Because
it's taken 3 lines, and yeah.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, it's all it's all interpretation, but I'm not by any means saying that I have it. But I think there's a couple of things in it as we'll go. But I do find it interesting though, because so far with Crying Lightning and Dangerous Animals and The Age of the Understatement, he has been singing about this kind of Machiavellian woman almost, which is a bit of a Last Shadow Puppets, hangover, isn't it? But now he's like, he's quite complimentary in his lyrics here. She comes across well at this point in the song. She's not you wouldn't think this girl's an arse like with Crying Lightning, would you? Was she an arse in Dangerous Animals? She was
no,
she was just
maybe
she
a
wasn't
bit
an
of
arse, but
sympathy
she
elicited,
was.
you could argue.
Yeah. So so this one is nice, which again leads me to it being personal and about someone that he loves, because he's complimentary there. And Alexa, to me, is the type of girl who is wouldn't be phased by the journalists and stuff like that. And I think it's the second verse for me, as I'll explain, where I really think it is Alexa and their relationship, and I'll explain why. But he then goes on to say, she swam out of tonight's phantasm and made it very clear there's absolutely nothing for us here. Great line. Very good line. So a phantasm is like an illusion. So for me, perhaps the illusion is the famous lifestyle that he's sort of a part of. That's tonight's phantasm. They're at some kind of famous event in this song to me, like a celebrity bar or an award ceremony or something. So, and she's kind of swam out of it and said, there's nothing for us here. Like she's, even though they're there in all this bullshit, like, Brits or something like that, maybe she's like, let's get out of here. This is bollocks. There's nothing for us here. Let's go. By that, she's broke through the illusion of famous bullshit that they have to do.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely.
But that would
seeing
apply.
nothing else to take me away.
Well, no, that would also
it
apply to your theory
it
about
would,
normal life and her breaking
I-
the illusion of mundanity. Let's say.
Yeah, I do think elements of both theories kind of intertwine in this. Oh, that sounded very much like Alex in an
It
interview.
sounded like an
there
Alex
for a
lyric, didn't
second.
it? Yeah. I think the nature of the music and the lyrics in this song intertwine, like when we were in the Mojave Desert with Josh. Also, I did think when we were watching the clip of this, the live clip, that he very much has, we sort of said he has that, his persona is that sort of doesn't give a shit stoner rock, like he's really moody. He doesn't do that to old John Kennedy, does he? He breaks that facade and has a lovely chat. He respects John, obviously. He'd never do it to Zayn or John.
A small group of journalists, Zayn, John, and Joe Wiley.
Yes, where they're never. Yeah, because there was that famous one when they paired the awful show where they paired Simon Mayo with Joe Wiley, which was kind of the final straw for Simon Mayo at the BBC, I think, or the beginning of the end. Yeah. And that interview is a bit weird because I think they're relaxed with Joe, but they don't really know Simon Mayo, so there's a bit of I don't know. So yeah, they're very much so. They're the free journalists, aren't they? That they love, and I think they like a bit of fun as well. If the live lounge, later live lounge is anything to go by.
Well, they're probably all Lost Prophets fans, so they'll love Fern.
It's a Magnolia celebration on a Wednesday. It's a Magnolia celebration to be attended on a Wednesday night. It's better that than get a reputation as a miserable little tyke. Ooh, at least that's the conclusion she came to in this overture. Can
I put some meat that I think could be put on the bones here? Magnolia celebration. Magnolia is beige, boring. Attended on a Wednesday night. What sort of celebration is on a Wednesday night? The Brit Awards.
Well, I did say earlier, funnily enough, now you say that, I did say in the last set of lyrics that perhaps this is one of those celebrity events like the Brit Awards. So my mind did go to the Brit Awards when I was trying to think of what celebrity event they would be at. The Brits is very much one.
It was on a Wednesday up until very recently. I think the last couple of years they've moved it to a Saturday, but it was previously.
No idea.
I think it's this month, actually. Not that it matters.
No.
But
You know, if I watch the Brits, I'd probably know that Neo hasn't been
Hasn't had
around
a
for a
hit for
while.
10 years.
Last time I watched the Brits, Arctic Monkeys were in it 11 years ago. So there you go. It's and what a time it was. The peak of the Brits. That Alex ended the Brits at that
All
point.
been downhill since then.
He won the Brits. It's
Completed
he completed the Brits. No need to watch it again. No one cares. You care. I always imagine like artists like when they win a Brit. Is anyone really going? Oh, I've really like I've won a Brit. Like we win a Grammy. That's like it's a bit like the Golden Globes, the Oscars in it. Like Golden Globes are all right, but everyone wants an Oscar or an Emmy. Golden Globes is a bit of a joke in it. So yeah, that's why they let Ricky just rip everyone because like, well, they'll paid for the award anyway. But yeah, Tyke is like a kind of cheeky chappy, isn't it, for international listeners? Like an old, well, there is actually an old original version which meant unpleasant, but I think Alex is going with the more last 20, 30 years version where Tyke, because his reputation at the time publicly was sort of grumpy but mischievous and cheeky, wasn't it? Yeah, that kind of cheeky, grumpy persona, bit like Ange Postecoglou, you might say.
Yeah, see, that's what you want, isn't it? Yeah, able to crack a joke when needed. Keeps on side.
Grumpy charisma.
Tyke is a very Yorkshire expression as well. So much so that the nickname of Barnsley Football Club is the Tykes. So
the Tykes.
Don't get much more Yorkshire than that.
You cannot. It is a very Yorkshire expression. And yeah, so I've actually written here my notes, Nick, amazingly. And I wrote these notes days ago. So again, a Magnolia celebration feels like the Brits or some bullshit celeb event to me. So there you go. Also, magnolias are also kind of ornamental. Magnolia means ornamental. So he could be saying those celeb events are very decorative. It's all surface level bullshit, you know, and beige, like you say. So I love the mixture of that with the mundanity with the Wednesday. Like it's so like that's like some glamorous ornamental event, but it's a bit of bullshit and it's on a Wednesday night. It's like very funny. No, it's a bit of one of his funny northern dry lines. Like it's the mundanity makes it funny that it's this big flashy event, but it's on a Wednesday night, you know, Wednesday night in the rain.
I think
in England,
we could easily confirm your theory to be correct if we were to go back and watch the coverage of their when they went to the Brits for Favourite Worst Nightmare. I think we'll find that Alexa Chung was his date.
That tracks as well because that was the one that they did attend, one of two that they actually attended.
Yeah,
so
and we're absolutely steaming.
Absolutely steaming. So yeah, makes sense. And he would have got a miserable little Tyke up there, but yeah, very, very British, very mundane in the glamour. This line, it's very very northern thing to say, like point out that it's a bit of bullshit and it's on a Wednesday night. You know, take the glamour out of it. Socks on in bed, that kind of thing. Yeah. and I get the impression there because he says. So here's where it kind of gets my Alexa stuff to amp up in the next movie. But it's a Magnolia celebration being attended on Wednesday night. It's better than get a reputation with a little Tyke. Is she saying it's better to attend these events than get called a miserable, you know, little Tyke, as Alex was known for, or is she saying it's better to just leave and not be at these events because they'll only brand you as a miserable little Tyke anyway?
Oh,
you know, is she saying you should go, or they're going to call you a miserable little Tyke, or don't even bother going because they're going to brand you as that anyway because that's your persona? That's what I wonder there, because she says nothing, but perhaps the second verse will help us on that. Like, and is he using overture in like a romanticized, like this whole thing is a big overture musical piece, or overture in the definition like the beginning of a discussion or a debate? I could go either with that. I thought the second, but because his performance leads me to the second. His performance of the line leads me to the second. Yeah. But the song overall invokes the first. It's interesting because the song has overtures in it, almost, but orchestral overtures. But the way he performs it makes me think the second, because he's kind of saying it in that way, like that's the conclusion, because he says that at least that's the conclusion she came to in this overture. So it's like a debate, a discussion, an overture. So yeah, I would agree with you on the second one, I think. And we hit the first chorus. The secret door swings behind us. She's saying nothing. She's just giggling along. So
no, this is one of his most romantic romantic bits of imagery that he's ever put forward. This whole thing of a secret door, because that evokes so much romance already.
Reminds me of The Time Has Come Again a bit. That.
Yes.
You know, that kind of that metaphorical place where you and your lover might go.
The meeting place,
he's-
one might say.
the meeting place and the meeting place, yeah, too. So he was into that at this time, wasn't he? Metaphorical places where lovers go. But the secret door, a metaphor for an escape. I actually put here as well, very romantic idea, also a bit TLSP that. I like how I write him the way I'd say stuff. Also a bit TLSP that. I didn't need to put that, did I? But I did anyway. So the secret door, a metaphor for an escape from the place, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swings behind them. This second verse is interesting in a way. I'm going to amp up my theory that this is about Alexa and about their relationship, and also about that's it. So he says, her arms were folded, most indignant, not looking like she was soon to leave. I had to squint in order to believe. Love the way he performs that, by the way. I had to squint in order to believe, and I like the way the music comes in. But great sentence structure. Love that. Love that line. So he's shocked, I think, in the song at this point, because of the way at the start he's saying, you know, there's nothing for us here and all that. I think he's shocked that she actually seems this like she's actually enjoying herself at, let's say, the Brits, but any celebrity event, insert here any celebrity bullshit, but she's actually enjoying herself and playing the game at this celebrity event. And this is the thing that leads me to believe it is Alexa, because, well, I don't know her obviously as a person, and this was like 15 years ago, so she's probably a different person now, etc., etc. No, you'll be surprised to hear. But but I'm just making that clear because you make judgments about people personally from what little you know, but is all we can go off. But my impression of her always was she would be a really cool, indie, funny, interesting person that would be like anti the bullshit of fame, etc. But also at the same time, she can very much live in that world and be a part of it, because she may be all of those things, but she's also on like T4 and meeting celebrities and at fashion shows and very much part of the tabloid celebrity culture at the time. So I think she's a bit of both. So from Alex's point of view, or, you know, the character in the song, 1 minute she's this cool, amazing, insightful, music loving, you know, free spirit. It was like all this. This is like all this bullshit. Let's get the fuck out of here. This is all crap. All this indulgent celebrity stuff is abhorrent. But then to see her kind of do a 180 and she's a part of it, she thrives in it. She wants to be in it. She's built a career from it, in fact, Alexa. And then is like a shock to see the two sides of the person that you're with. To see that she is this cool person who's anti it all, but then she is very much a part of the culture. And I think that is Alexa all over, from what I know, because she is a cool person, obviously, but she is very much, her career is to be a part of all that. That's what she built her career on.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed.
I think that's the thing that leads me to think this verse is what leads me to think this is very much about their relationship. And it tracks time wise as well, that it is probably. And then next line, possibly one of my favorite things that's ever been said ever. Like a butler pushing on a bookshelf and unveiling the unexpected. I mean, that's such a good line, isn't it? Thank you very much. I need somebody with a human touch. Hey, you, always on the run.
I'll
Gotta
consider
slow
that
it
my,
down, baby, and have
my
some
moment.
fun.
It's my moment ruined because it's time for a bonus
That
question.
sound means it's the end of the round. Time for the bonus question.
Now,
Go on.
I
Bonus round,
haven't gone fully in depth with this, but as far as I can tell from admittedly a limited amount of research, this is one of
Start to a bonus round.
This is one of 3 instances where there's a reference to Batman in Arctic Monkeys songs and lyrics. Can you name the other 2?
Well, Bat Phone is one of them.
Of course, yes.
And
imagine I went, oh shit, yeah.
And being and at the Bat Cave in MYE on New Year's Eve, visiting the Bat Cave.
Wayne Manor, what number NYE? Nice.
Wayne
nice.
Wayne Manor,
It's a tough
yeah.
bonus round. I just thought it was a nice way to bookend it. Yeah.
There could be more. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there is any more that I can think of off the top.
That's
anyway.
my
And
weak
you mean it's very much a reference to the old '60s Batman as well, which he tends to be the thing that he does reference. The bat phone and all that is all that, isn't it? So yeah. I think that'll be it. I don't think there's any
It's
more.
very much
Let us
like
know if there is.
McDonald's, isn't it? Like the '60s Batman is like, you know how McDonald's put Mac in front of everything? It's like McNugget, McChicken, blah, blah, all that. And it's very much like, do you reckon Batman was like, when he was like with a lady, like he's like, oh, get the Batman.
He's with a lady.
Oh, you don't need to, I'm on the Bat pill.
And there was a period of time in my early 20s when I used to get home from work at around 4, and I used to light up a doobie, and I used to sit on the couch and watch. ITV3 used to show '60s Batman between 4 till 5, and I just used to watch it and just be like, I mean, watching it high is something else. But yeah, that is an amazing
one scene
line.
in '60s Batman that I will send you a link to later that might be the greatest bit of acting I've ever seen in my life. I'll find the YouTube link. I'll send it to you later. You'll absolutely.
Is
love
it the guy that plays the Joker?
No, it's a bit
Right,
with a Batman basically on the phone to himself. So Adam West is playing both characters, and the acting in it is just genuinely. I came away from it like
that sounds incredible. But I mean, it is such a good line as a simile for like somebody revealing something to you. Amazing, and also tracks with the whole him being surprised by the other side of A, woman in song, B, Alexa, is that, it's like a bottle of puss on a bookshelf. Great. Next line. I, who was earlier reluctant, was suddenly embarrassed and corrected. So earlier, when they were perhaps debating the overture, like staying or not, he was reluctant to leave, but she made it clear, let's go. But now she's thriving in it. And I always thought that meant he's embarrassed that he was planning to go. So he's embarrassed now that he wanted to leave because she's so thriving in it that it's made him he's corrected and embarrassed by a sudden change to be in it. It's like, if you're with someone and then you're like, this is shit, and then they're like enjoying themselves, you'd be a bit embarrassed by committing to saying that earlier when now they're enjoying it, perhaps. Or it could be he's embarrassed because he was reluctant to be there at all, but now she wants to be as well. So yeah. Here's the other one that makes me think it's about their relationship and stuff like that. How could such a creature survive in such a habitat? Again, great line.
Lyric in this song. Yeah.
Strong contender. Yeah, great line. Sums up what we were saying as well. Like how could this cool, funny, anti-bullshit girl just change suddenly in this environment and adapt? He's never really been able to do that either, Alex. He's not a media trained person. He's how he is usually. So, like, apart from like, if we think he might do the odd character, but he's still very much at this time, particularly. That was after this, really, wasn't it? That he started doing, let's say, characters. Was that he's never really been able to do that. So how he's probably like, how could this person that's really cool that I love spending time with, survive in all this bullshit celebrity crap? So yeah, interesting. Yeah. And then even if they were to find us, I wouldn't notice. I'm completely occupied. So he's so into her that even if the eyes, the journalists, the public, whatever, found them, he wouldn't care because he's obsessed with her. So that's what leads me again to the journalist thing, is like he's saying, even if the journalists and the public found us and, whatever, took pictures and all that, I wouldn't care because I'm so obsessed with you. I just like being with you, so it doesn't even bother me that that's happening. Next chorus, fools on parade, frolic and fuck about. I love the change up to a fuck. Always impactful and used well. A good change up to a fuck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Always.
I often find that to be the case. Yeah.
Yeah. To make a gaze turn to make a gaze with a Z. To make a gaze turn to a scribble on a picture. Oh, sorry. To make a gaze turn to a scribble on a page by a picture that holds her absence, but you're daft to think she cares. Fools on
Now that
parade.
must have been one when he wrote that down. He must have thought, how's that gonna, how am I gonna skip over them lyrics? And then once again, it's just something that you'd see written down and you'd think, how is that making it into a song? Like, great, brilliantly written, but just in terms of how are you gonna get your mouth over those words, and it's phenomenal.
There's something about the use of the word scribble that makes me feel a bit submarine-y as well. But yes. This is the thing. This is my further evidence, Your Honour, that the fools on parade are them as celebrities in front of journalists, because the journalists are seeing them doing something turned into a scribble on a page by a picture in a newspaper that holds her absence, which I think means like when the journalist turns it into an article, a tabloid news piece or whatever, he's perhaps either saying here that the picture doesn't represent the real her or them, so it holds her absence, or is he saying because they fucked off earlier through the metaphorical secret door that the article is trying to make a story out of her absence, but she doesn't give a shit, like the fact that they do leave or whatever is the story. So that's the end of the song. Here's my question there, Nick. If I am right about what this is about, because the structure of the song is girl says, let's fuck this off. They leave through the secret door. Girl surprises him by having two sides to her and seemingly enjoying the event. They fuck off and she doesn't care about what anyone thinks about that. Is the escape through the door what he desires, not what actually happens? Like, he didn't happen because she's on one hand his cool girlfriend. He would seemingly want to fuck off from any kind of this bullshit event, but then she surprises him by being happily a part of the culture. He was saying he prefers the first side of her. That's the side he really likes of her, the cool anti-bullshit side. He wishes that side would come out at this event and they'd escape, but the reality is that they don't, and he has to accept that's who she is.
And the secret door could be a daydream in that scenario.
Yes,
the secret door could
a
be
fantasy.
His mind wandering and thinking, if only there was a secret door.
And perhaps conducting a sing-along, as he says, is her being a part of it. She conducts a sing-along to, like, being part of the celebrity stuff is her conducting herself, her career, into a sing-along. Like, I think maybe it is. It's his fantasy of an escape with her, but it's not who she is. So he has to stay there with her. And also, don't want to get into this at all, so I'm not going to say it. Perhaps something, in the relationship that was a perhaps sore point. Is all that celebrity celebration she has. Because on one hand they were very similar, but on one hand they weren't, because she is into all that, isn't she? So yeah, I don't know, when some musicians get into that. They never have. You get plenty of musicians that do like that, that go into Fashion Week and all that crap, and the Met events and shit. But they've never really done that. You never see them turn up at the Met events, do you, and stuff. So, but yeah, interesting. I think personally, that's how I see the song. Is that it's about?
I do now.
I think there is evidence.
Now,
I've always thought it, actually, but because at the time it was when they were this sort of end of Favourite Worst Nightmare, beginning of Humbug, was very much when they were a tabloid couple as well. Yeah. And she was growing into this sort of celebrity career, fashion career, and all that stuff. So you see pictures of them all the time and stuff, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what it is for me.
I think you've nailed it.
Thank you. Shall we have a listen to John Kennedy? We got a jingle, haven't we?
Yeah, but I'll remember the jingle this time. Yes,
it's a bookmarked jingle, isn't it? It's a bookmark, like a butler pushing on a bookmark and unveiling the John Kennedy bit. It's not as poetic.
Yes.
Too much to discuss over a bucket of balls.
Which could almost be like the Smiths meets Richard Hawley or something like that, if you want to coin that kind of thing. Yeah. That's how it struck me, anyway.
He's got a new record, hasn't he?
He has. I've only heard the single so far.
Have you got the single?
Yeah, it's in a pile of
I'd love
CDs.
To hear that. Yeah, I haven't heard any of it.
I'll play it to you after we've done this.
That'd be good.
Excellent. So where was this one recorded? Because I read two different things on the
Integratron.
Yeah,
there's a version.
Right, but not this version.
No, that weren't a full band thing. It was just me walking around with a tambourine
in a sonically sound dome.
In a perfectly sonic dome. Yeah.
So there's this place called the Integratron, which is half an hour from Rancho de la Luna.
Yeah.
In the Californian desert.
Erected by George Van Tassel. Yeah, under strict instructions from a visitor,
right?
And they told him to build this
structure.
Yeah, in order to sort of recharge human cells, rejuvenate.
For that.
And so and I don't think he ever finished it, but it's still open as a sort of museum.
Yeah.
No.
Waiting for the next visit to finish it off. It never happened.
And he sadly died.
But then the album one was done in Brooklyn.
Right.
Yeah.
So you tried recording a version of this song.
Well, that one I don't think we were going to do. I don't know. I think that was more of just an experience, a day out that was just something an unmissable thing. We weren't necessarily thinking that was going to be on the album, just like a version of it, and just just the experience of going there. I think.
And so then you recorded a different version in New York with James Ford. And in a way, this song kind of combines different elements of what you've done in the past with now, as it were. So you've got the kind of almost rapping style that you had early on, but then there's more this crooning style that you've eased into very nicely, Alex, as well. So I mean, it's a lot of the songs, the tempo changes within them all the time. Each song almost changes a lot.
Yeah.
Was that something that you wanted to do, to keep each track moving on?
I think it's just something that we weren't like afraid to do, you know. Like it wasn't, it was more just like that was the thing, and maybe it was kind of where we were, and that feeling of being sort of far away perhaps does introduce like possibilities, and you sort of, it doesn't feel like anyone's breathing down your neck to like sort of stop you from taking it to different places within like the 5 minutes that the tune lasts. But I think, I don't know, that was just that's the only way that one kind of could work, really. The Secret Door, like that's a song we've had for a couple of years, and like that's one of the things that had been like chopped and changed, and we always want like the beat on that was really important, and kind of where it had come from, but it's sort of, that like the idea of that being over the sort of big shift for the chorus at the end seems a bit weird, and I don't know, it's strange how like things in major or minor keys like sound like out of place over different rhythms, or sort of sometimes I think with it just I think that song's just the result of that. Feels like it's the only way it could have been recorded was with those changes where they are, and like someone said that was a bit like Happiness is a Warm Gun, that tune, which I was
by the Beatles. For anybody who might not know, on the White Album. Have you heard that Breeders version of? Yeah.
I seen them. They were at Latitude last year.
Right.
They do that, don't they?
Yeah. Good version, I think.
So that's it. But whether it is, we can draw those crazy parallels. I don't know, but like, I'm certainly very flattered.
People can decide for themselves right now. This is it. Arctic Monkeys.
Too much to discuss over a bucket of balls.
Very pleased to find Alex is a Breeders fan.
Well, Smiths meets Richard Hawley. Great little catch by John Kennedy there for that song.
Excellent.
And when I said stay tuned for bits later, so this song's been knocking around for a while, so it could have ended up on Favourite Worst Nightmare if they got it right. So that's what I meant by that's why perhaps we hear elements of songs like Fuss Adolescent, Only Ones Who Know in this one. And the tambourine beat. So they mentioned the place. Got a bit of information more on this. They recorded it at the Integraton, or part of it, a 38-foot high wooden dome, a half-hour's drive south of Joshua Tree in the Mojave Desert, where they were based. Turner explained to Uncut Magazine, "Yeah, we were mostly locked up in this little house doing the record, but we had time for a little bit of recreation. Later on in the recording, we did a trip to this place called the Integratron. It's a structure erected by a fellow called George Van Tassel, who had a visit in the night from some kind of being who instructed him to build an acoustically sound dome involving an electromagnet. I haven't got the diagram here, but it's believed that the objective in building this thing was to recharge or rejuvenate human cells, except he never finished it before he died. Because it's acoustically sound, if someone talks across from you, it sounds like they're right by your ear. It's a mad place. We did a little recording of Secret Door there one night, and it sounds like that's where the tambourine sound comes from, because Helder said he was just pretty much walking around with a tambourine, so it sounds like that's where that tambourine in the second verse or whatever.
I spent the last 5 minutes trying to find the Integratron on Google Maps, but nothing.
Couldn't find it.
One of my favourite things is to go on like Google Earth and just drop at random points in the Nevada desert, just find weird shit and stuff like that, but no sign of that, which upset me. One day I'll find the red dust, though.
Never mind, too much to discuss. Too much time on your hands, mate. Should we do a shipping forecast? Got a good shipping forecast this week.
We have, haven't we?
Listen to the shipping forecast.
So Amanda Blank, after our annoyance and fear for her that she'd come off Instagram last week, came roaring back this week, Mrs. Matthew Helders the third. And she put a post from them. They went to the Grammys, her and Helders, and it looked like maybe Alex and Louise were there as well, from another post I saw.
Right.
Perhaps I did see another post from Louise, something like that, that was something like that. I can't confirm. I won't say that entirely, but it gave a hint that perhaps they were there as well. But I don't know because they would have. I don't know. I think it would have been referenced more.
It's one
but,
hell of a double date, that, isn't it?
Yeah, man. So so she posted because they met Mel C, Sporty Spice, Leslie Chiswick. She was there in an on-brand tracksuit, very expensive one probably. And Helders met her, and Amanda Blank met her, and she was over the moon as a huge Spice Girls fan in the past, as I would be. And yeah, seems like. And Helders said, softened the blow from being robbed. He actually openly said it, robbed at the Grammys, which is true. I mean, Paramore.
Yeah.
And that other band that I listened to and went. I mean, I know this wasn't there. Perhaps if they'd won Grammys before, I'd go, okay, well, the car was okay. Could be taken either way. But they didn't win any Grammys for AM, so it's a sticking point, really. But it is all bullshit. Who cares, really? But yeah, she posted that, and
the
they
categories
cracking
they went into very strange. I think because Sculptures of Anything Goes was under rock performance, and Body Paint was under alternative, and I'd have had them the other way around.
Yes,
I don't think it would have made a difference,
although you're only perhaps saying that because of the extended live version, whereas that won't have been taken into consideration.
No. Even with
the
with
live performance, I guess.
Sculptures, I would see it more as alternative than rock.
Is greatest rock performance a specific performance that gets put forward?
No, it's the song.
Well, then, if it was an actual live performance, I would have put Body Paint on Jimmy Kimmel that first time. If it's for like a appearance, that's what I would have had in there, and it might have won. But no, maybe the other way around. You're right. Right, it is more rocky than Sculptures, but I mean, it's a difficult one because they get put in sort of rock categories. But ever since AM, there's not really been. There's elements there, but you wouldn't go, oh yeah, there's still an all-out rock band, would you? Like a Foo Fighters,
different kind of rock.
Yeah, it's all bullshit in it.
Yeah.
Any favorite lyric in it?
Too busy with the mind on clever lines.
Well, two come to mind as we've discussed. But
yes,
the one that's just got the edge for me is like a butler pushing on a bookshelf and unveiling the unexpected.
Yes, I'm going for that as well. Although I imagine the other line that came to mind was how can such a creature survive in such a habitat was your other one. There is a few, but that's just all out amazing line. Same musical moment.
Two standouts.
Intrigued to see what you go with this actually.
Bad sounds in your ear that make you get up and down.
Go on, you go then, because I'm intrigued.
All that needs to be said is WWJCD. What would Jamie Cook do? I'm going Jamie Cook on this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Cookie specials.
I'm going similarly, but more specifically the solo. I think it's one of the greatest pieces, so I'm going Jamie Cook melodic solo. Beautiful work. Yeah, great stuff. Shout to the drumming though, because for a song like this, the drums are great.
If it wasn't for Cookie, I'd have been going for the drumming.
Also, Cookie, our favorite lyric we picked, like a butler, is enhanced by Cookie even more because it goes like a butler pushing on a bookshelf and unveiling the unexpected. Yeah. So yeah, he enhances that. But I do have a little hot take again. This album's producing hot takes every week.
Takes good a lot.
She flicks a red hot revelation off the tip of her toe.
So we kind of touched on it a bit earlier, but this particular style of melody, they've perhaps started with Only Ones Who Know, not counting Mardy Bum, because I think it's a bit different, but Only Ones Who Know, then Secret Door, Cornerstone, a lot of Suck It and See, and number one party anthem. And then you could say Ultra Cheese and bits of She Looks Like Fun, and bits of Monster Truck as well, perhaps. Do you think this one gets forgotten? Because although great, by comparison, it just tiny tiny bit falls short of what are incredible tunes. Like, it's not that it's got anything wrong with it. It's just that they're incredible tunes. Like it's like trying to compare, so it falls short just that bit more than some of them. Like, it definitely falls short of like Suck It and See the Song.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, yeah.
Cornerstone, probably.
It's very low key compared to them. I think
it probably falls short on the One Party Anthem as well, just because that's a really cool song as well.
Yeah. And how long did he play? How long was that AM tour where they were playing number one Party Anthem? So it's going to stay in people's minds more. 3-year-long tour or whatever it was.
I do think that there is a shout that because a lot of the songs are probably about personal situations and people, we just don't realize it, but that perhaps they don't play it because it's very specifically about if it is about a previous relationship, and perhaps that part of their relationship might have been something that was a downfall of that relationship. So maybe that's why you don't sing about it. But there's maybe a shout for that, because it is weird that when they go back and they go, let's take some songs to put in tours, that this one never gets a shout ever. So interesting. Even globally, like, when they're in like South America or something, should we throw Secret Door in or something, like, because they are more experimental in America and stuff with what they put in the sets. So interesting. Yeah. Okay, Nick, shall we see out with our segment where I ask an AI to introduce the next song?
Oh God, I'm hoping for the return of the cat.
You push the button and we'll do the rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, it starts with that. I always, whenever I do it, I want to go into ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the men in black are back to save the world. I love that's one of my favorite things ever is Will Smith's explaining the plot to films in his lyrics. I like, there's a chick ride Selena. She's it's just the plot to Men in Black 2 in a song. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a wild ride through the whimsical world of the Arctic Monkeys, where time zones are for biting bloodstreams become banks of embellishment, and caution is tossed aside like confetti at a clown convention. Today's feature, Potion Approaching, a song that's part oceanic daydream, part ego mechanic, and wholly infused with the kind of surreal humor that makes you wonder if you accidentally wandered into a whimsy workshop. Imagine this: you're biting the time zone like it's a chewy piece of bubblegum, embellishing the banks of your bloodstreams with the finest decorations. You throw caution to the colourful, fall asleep in the car, only to be rudely awakened by bumps in a grip that's not entirely yours. Suddenly, you're swept by the tide to someone's mouth and then back down to their palms. It's like a psychedelic theme park, and you're not entirely sure if you bought the right ticket. Ooh, that's a nice line, AI. In this ocean of eccentricity, you must do the whole pod with the AI. In this ocean of eccentricity, yours is the only one worth swinging from, hanging onto, and building a go-kart for a grand escape. So shield your eyes as the potion approaches, visualize the token swollen inside. Oh, I've got a lot to say about that next week. If he's saying my propeller, he didn't know that was an innuendo, then right. And let the Arctic Monkeys take you on a lyrical roller coaster that's both hilarious and head spinning. And remember, if we're going to escape, we really ought to think it through. Maybe that go-kart isn't such a bad idea after all. So there you go. No cat for Potion Approaching, I'm afraid. We'll see if Return of the Cat next week. That should be the same. Return of the cat. Tell me why. Return of the cat. Right, let's get out of here.
Right, that is us done for another week. We'll be back next week with Potion Approaching. Stick around if you're a subscriber, because there's going to be a little post-show chat where we're going to spin the wheel to find out, of all the albums of all time, which one we're going to be discussing. And also, we're going to watch the video that I referenced before of Batman on the phone with Bruce Wayne, a full-on acting tour de force that I've got sat there in my tabs, and I need to watch it like within the next 5 minutes, otherwise I'll die. Right, we'll be back. Say goodbye to the nice people, Dan.
Goodbye.
Fools on parade, cavorts and carry on for waiting eyes that you would rather be beside than in front of. Well, she's never been the kind to be hollowed by the steps. She swam out of tonight's phantasm. saying nothing. She's just giggling along. Her arms were folded, the most indignant, not looking like she was soon to leave. I had to strength in order to believe. Then like a bullet pushing on a bookshelf, I'm unveiling the unexpected. I was really overlooked and was suddenly embarrassed and corrected. How could such a creature survive in such a habitat? The secret doors into handles. She's saying nothing, but she's just giggling alone. Even if the words are find us, I wouldn't notice. I'm completely occupied as all the fools on parade cavort to carry on for waiting eyes. Ones you would rather be beside than in front of. But she's never been the kind to be hollowed by the stars. Fools on parade, frolic and fuck about to make a gauge. Turn to a scribble on a page by a picture that holds her absence. But you'd have to think she'd care. Fools on parade. Fools on parade. Fools on parade can look to sing along.
Bye.
Don't Believe the Hype is hosted and produced weekly by Nick Lee and Dan Holt. The music used in the titles is royalty-free music courtesy of Les FM. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast player of choice to be notified every Wednesday when a new episode is released. And if you want to help us out further, be sure to like and review to help make us more visible to like-minded souls. We will see you next week with more of the same.